Hi, welcome back. Now let's start our journey by creating a Azure Data Factory instance. We are going to use Azure Data Factory as our ETL tool. So let's create a Azure Data Factory. So you could see Azure Data Factory in my recent activity, or you could even go to corresponding group and you will find Azure Data Factory. But let's click on create resource, and in different category you could find many service. Let's select analytics and you will find data factory. So let's click on create, and we need to specify some basic details. First we need to specify our resource group and subscription. So it's for billing purpose and I am just using single subscription. Let me select that, and we need to specify our resource group, and in Azure all the resource must be deployed into any one of the resource group. You could consider resource group as a folder that hold our resource. So it's a logical folder for our resource, and I could use any of the existing resource group, but I'm going to create a new resource group called ADF demo. So let's create our resource group ADF demo. Now we need to specify our resource name. So I'm going to create a Azure Data Factory, and we need to specify the name of our data factory. And this name should be unique. So if I try to specify ADF step to C, it will not be available. So most probably someone might be using. So I think I'm using this, but what we could do, we could add some random number, say 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, some random number I'm going to use, and this will be available. So you could see this is available. ADF step to C, some random number is available. Now we need to select in which area are you going to deploy this service. Now we could select any of the existing Azure region, but I am going to use East US 2. Now we don't have any other version. Earlier there was V1 for Data Factory. Now we have V2. Just select V2 and click on Next. Now we could configure our Git. Now by configuring Git, you could control the versions of your data factory. Now we have a dedicated course called Azure Data Factory Master, where we cover all this concept. So I'm not going to configure Git right now. So let's click on configure Git later. Now if you want to review and create, you could click on review and create. Let's go to the next section. Now if you want to use private endpoint, you could choose this one. Similarly, if you want to use managed virtual network, you could use this option. But let's go with the default public endpoint access. And for encryption, if you want to use customer managed encryption, you could use this option. But I'm not going to use customer managed encryption. And tag, I'm not going to specify any tag. So we just specified very basic details. Subscription for billing, resource group. We are going to create a new resource group, and we specified our resource name, ADF step to C, some random number, location and version, and we are going to use public endpoint to access this data factory. Click on create, and it's going to deploy our Azure Data Factory instance, and the deployment will be very fast. It will take hardly few seconds, and within few seconds our deployment will get completed and we will be able to access our ADF. Now if you want to download your deployment details, you could use this. Similarly, if you want to redeploy, you could use this, and cancel, delete options, all these options are available, and you could see our resources available now. Now you could access your resource by clicking this resource button. So you could see ADF step to C, and click on that, you will be able to access your data factory. Now in order to access your data factory, you could simply click on Launch Studio, and this will open your data factory in a new window. But in the same data factory overview tab, you could see we have some tutorials and monitoring options are there. Similarly, there are many other options and configurations are there. Say for example, settings are there, access controls are there, and monitoring tab is there, and help section. So many options are there. And in the upcoming lecture, we will try to understand how we could use Azure Data Factory. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.